Hey, it's Jeff from the Great Heights and Barely Controlled Chaos, and can't stand to the sun. I've said it before, it never rains, but it pours, and in this case, we're talking about literal rain. I just kind of want to give you a quick view of what's going on. So I discovered a leak. We discovered a leak in our roof, which is no fun, of course. But it rained last night pretty bad, and I came out this morning, and there was water everywhere. But one of the problems that we've had all winter, as you know, especially as the rain got more, is that our upper pig barn keeps flooding. As you can see,
this happened again.
Yeah, as you can see, it's just full of water. And when I came out this morning, the water was running over that concrete pad. It was washing right out of here. So I think I know where it's coming from. I think part of it's coming down this hill. Let me show you this real quick.
Yes, that makes sense.
Part of it's coming down the hill and it's pooling, as it comes down. You can see actually some of the water running over here, right from the driveway down into here, and then going underneath the barn. But I think the other part of it is right here. It's coming right out of this thing, because this is the drainage for the entire barn, for this side of the barn at least. And I think that hose is clogged up. So I think we're gonna have to dig that up and take care of that. But we have some drainage issues here. Let me show you if I can show you real quick. You can see there's a major rut right here in the driveway.
It's eroded most of it.
Yeah, it eroded this nice rut into here. I have some ideas about what I might try to do. Maybe doing some kind of a stepping system, or maybe doing some sort of a something along these lines, like we've got down here at the garage. You can see it down here at the garage. They've got that nice grating, and that actually runs. There's a drain in the bottom of that, and it runs out behind the house. That seems to work okay. But right now, it's eating giant trenches in our driveway here. We got to figure that out. But
it's actually turning our driveway into a bunch of rivers.
Yeah.
Really small rivers.
If you go out into our woods, we've got all those washout gullies, and they were just running this morning. In fact, we built a couple of little ponds out there. We're attempting to build a couple of little ponds out there, and they were full this morning. Even though they don't hold water very well, but they were just absolutely full and running over. So we got a lot of rain last night. But so step number one is I got to get up on the roof and go figure out where that leak is. Step number two is I got to go in the pig barn and try to get some of that water out, so we don't so that it doesn't start washing out underneath the barn. And then I got to try to figure out that step number three, if I still have time today before we lose the light, is to get that hose dug up and either just run it across the top of the ground, which is a possibility, or find some other way to divert it. But I definitely don't want it running into the barn anymore. One of the positives is that, unlike our last house, that where the low spot was just over 2 stories tall, this one is about 12 stories tall here, or 12 feet tall here, and so it's really easy to get up there, which makes life easy. So luckily, the roof fix that I need to do is going to be relatively easy. The barn, which is step 2, like I said, that's going to get dirty. Luckily, I got a good set of muck boots that I'm borrowing from my son, and I'm going to go out there and start clearing. It'll be fun. And as you can see, it's not going very well. I was trying to create a little bit of a channel over here, heading down out the back side of the barn, and it is running over there, but it's just not very fast. And it's obviously there's so much mud, and it's bringing the water with it, or the water's bringing the mud with it. It just clogs up the channel as fast as I can create it. I think really what we're going to need, unfortunately, is something more to keep the elevation in the barn higher. Originally, I had put this log across the opening there, thinking it was coming in the opening, but I really do think it's coming in underneath the barn. I just don't know what else to do about that at the moment. But we'll, one step at a time, I guess. Really. Let this dry out a little bit more. We've got a couple of pumps that I could maybe rig up to pull some of the water out, but it's going to require some time. More time than I've got today, so I think what I'm going to work on now is go ahead and try to dig up that tube coming out of the gutter system up there and get it out of the ground at least, so we can clean it out and let water flow out of it, so if we get more rain this doesn't get any worse, hopefully. And then I had an idea about up in the driveway that I'll explore it a little bit. Alright, so I'm losing the light, so it's a little hard to see the contrast here. So what I've done, hopefully, this is what we talked about here. I've dug a trench, and I've got, this is one of the smaller logs. I figured I'd start with one of them. The trench is big enough to put the whole log in. I need to dig this end out a little bit further. And then I'll put the log down in the hole, cover it back up, and then any extra dirt I'll try to put down in that rut right there, up in the front of it. And then we'll see. And like I said, it's just kind of going off, just a little off 90 degrees up to the yard. Part of me says I should try to maybe cut in a little bit there actually in the dirt, so it goes out in the yard. But I don't know if that's just going to make a mess over there, but better a mess over there in the dirt, I guess, than out here on the driveway where it's making it almost undrivable. So anyway, I'm going to give this a try. You may not be able to tell, but there's a lot of water less in here. It's hard to see because the light's just bad because it's dark in here, but the water has come down a long way. So that actually worked, digging the channel. You can't really tell, but yeah, it did work. We're beginning to feel left out with all the snow back home. Alright, so we're back in here again, working more on the, eventually, we're out here working more on the deer clearing. Got 2 more trees to take down, just these 2 little ones here. Fortunately, they're going to be the most difficult because there's vines all around them and all kinds of little brush. So we've cleared some of the little brush out and some vines. It's still a lot of them in there, but we're never going to be able to clear them out before we cut them down. So we're going to just go ahead and cut them down. So, and I'll turn the time lapse on and you can watch us do that. All right, so we got those true trees down. So you can see.
Yep.
So now all the trees that we needed cleared for the deer
Are cleared.
Yeah, all for the deer area are now down. We delimbed the 2 big ones. We now need to delimb the 2 small ones. As you can see, this one needs it, and that one over there still needs it. That one actually split in half as it was coming down. It was really rotten in the center. So, yeah, that's done. Like I said, still a lot of work to do here because we got to do the delimbing and stuff. But at least we're one step closer, and we've got until fall. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with all the brush that comes off these trees. Some of it we're just going to have a nice big bonfire with, but some of it is going to be usable for different projects. The rabbits and the chickens seem to like it for fodder. Well, the rabbits like it for the bark, and the chickens like it for the leaves and stuff like that. So that's a good use for them. But then, like I said, we'll have a bonfire with some of the stuff.
And
All right, so I just watered the pigs. Gave them some water. Carried a 5-gallon bucket down here. If you have any good suggestions on keeping the water running in the winter, it's not super cold here, but our hose froze up. Try to clean it out every day so it's not got water in it, but you know it's got to use it every day to get the water out here and out to the other animals. Sometimes it's a little difficult to make sure that you actually get the water. You know, get all the water out of it. I guess I could disconnect it and blow some air through it or something like that. But if you got any good suggestions for that, let me know. I was actually thinking maybe like build a little greenhouse around it, and that would work on nice days. But then there's days like this. There's not a lot of sun, so that doesn't work out so well. What I want to show you before we finish up this video is what we did up here in the driveway. Now, I'm walking from the bottom down here, down by the pig barn. I'm pointing to the chicken barn, but the pig barn's around the corner there. Walking from the bottom of our property, well, not the bottom of the unfenced property up the driveway here. Now, I'm level with the house right here. And then right about, looking over my shoulder here to see exactly where I am. So right about here, I'm level with the low part of the house. The lowest, the low part of the roof of the house. So in that short little distance that I just walked, I went up a long way. And then if I go up here, even a little higher, and this I have to go a little bit higher, but right about here. And when I say level, I'm talking about my feet. Right about here, my feet are about the level of the top of the house. So as you can tell, that was a pretty short walk there. I'm out of breath. Oh my goodness, I need to get back in shape. But our driveway is incredibly steep. So what happens is we get a lot of rain, and we end up with this. We end up with these big trenches down here. Now I've come through and actually filled some of this stuff in already, but my hope is what I've done here is I've got 2 of these, and I might do some more. I've buried these about 3/4 of the way down, and then they're in the path of this trench that's here right now, and then put them so they go out into the yard. Now they're not quite perpendicular to the driveway, about 80%, or excuse me, about 80 degrees, 85 degrees, something like that. 90 degrees should be perpendicular, obviously. And I did 2 of them. One there where it just starts getting steep, and then one down here. And you can see this one's actually up a little bit higher than the other one. Maybe this one's like half buried, although it's a lot bigger. So, again, to interrupt the water flow. Now, we haven't had a big rain since the last one that dug this big trench. And again, I've come up and by hand brought a bunch of shovels of gravel back up here and tried to fill this back in, because it was incredibly deep, to the point where driving through it, especially with that big van, was not exactly fun. So my goal here is to try to, just catch some of it. I know I'm not going to get all of it, but if I could catch some of the water and push it out into the grass where the grass will hold, won't erode as fast, because obviously the roots hold the ground in place, and push it out into the yard there. We do have just beyond those rocks there, we do have a drainage ditch that actually runs all the way across the yard and goes over there, just beyond where the van is parked, and goes out into that grass. And then what I'm probably going to do next, now that I've got these up here, I'm probably going to try to build a bit of a, either a channel. Actually, yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to try to build a channel down here, either with some logs on both sides of it or something along those lines, but out here, so that any other water that comes down here doesn't end up going right into our barn, which is what's going on with the pig area right now, is that the water just ends up right in that barn. I want to try to prevent that. Obviously, I've said it before, we're not beavers, and I'm certainly not a construction engineer. So trying to find ways to try to prevent some of the water from going in there. So if we can keep it up there a little bit, that'll be good. This again is a very steep area, so I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that. But again, we're just trying to prevent a little bit of the water from coming down here. All right, so just one last update real quick. This is the greenhouse. Because of work schedules and a whole bunch of other stuff, we just haven't been able to finish it. We are trying very hard. It's still very chilly here in Missouri. It's been kind of an odd winter. They say that the coldest months are usually January. It's the only true month of winter. This year, this coming week actually, the temperatures are supposed to never get above 30. So it's going to be kind of chilly, but we just need to put another piece of plastic up here, and then I'll build the frame for the door. Hopefully this week we'll get that done. I don't know, the plastic might be next weekend, might be, we'll see. But that's what we're doing at the moment. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. It has not progressed any since last time, so not really an update, but that's what's going on. So, all right, so if you enjoy our videos, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down if you don't like them, whatever. Please leave a comment if you have some thoughts or suggestions for us. We always are open to thoughts and suggestions. I certainly am. And if you want to see more from us, go ahead and share this with your friends and subscribe. Down below, hit that subscribe button so that you'll know when our new videos come out. And yeah, we'll see you next time.